All right, read chapter 22 should be finished by now, I would think. Chapter 21, worksheet number 2. I'm going to give you a little bit more notes on the chapter 21 worksheet that we had started on class on Friday. That'll help you to finish off the number 2 worksheet, numbers 6, 7, and 8. But you definitely should have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 finished. And we'll talk about the rest of that in class tomorrow. And then the notes for the new packet, chapter 22. Chapter 21 worksheet that we worked on in class on Friday. Not number 2, not the one for homework, but that one. Here are the answers to 6 and 7. Pause if you need to get this down and read through this. Here's number 8. Here's chapter 22. Notice the new title, Comparing Two Proportions. We're no longer working with just one proportion, but two. Again, looking at a decimal, a fraction, so a percentage, but we're looking at two different things. And we're comparing them. We're looking at them one versus the other, male versus female, dogs versus cats, that kind of thing. The standard deviation changes here. You'll notice we're going to do the same type of standard deviation that's on your worksheet or on your formula sheet, but we're going to add the two together. Typically, we're going to use standard error, which is at the bottom, because we are not dealing with the actual populations information. We don't know the true values. We just know the sample values. Our assumptions and conditions are not much different. We still have the same basic 5. The difference is we need to look at both groups in both pieces, so P and Q, male and female, whatever that might be. And then again, our sampling standard deviation. Even though we're subtracting, because we're looking at the difference between, it might be like, are males faster than females, or does one opinion, is one opinion more than the other one, that kind of thing. We're still going to add within our standard deviation. The two proportion z interval is very similar to our regular z interval or confidence interval. The confidence interval, the statistic piece is going to be the subtraction of the two, and then plus minus the margin of error. Margin of error is our z star, our critical value. Again, that depends on the level that we're looking at for the significance. We now know how to figure that out with our inverse norm. And our standard error, which we just put that formula on a couple slides ago. This is just an example from the book on page 498. You don't really need to have the book open, but you can just kind of see how everything runs through. We're going to have two different issues here now, a PM and a PF. P1, P2, males and females, two groups, two samples that kind of contradict each other. Still same type of conditions, random, 10%, and independent. And then the last piece for tonight, our success failure is going to be a little bit bigger now, because now we have two different groups that we're looking at. So you're going to find the success failure for both of them. They should still be greater than or equal to 10. And then once our conditions are checked and we have everything good, we can now do the normal model for PM minus PF, a 2 proportion z interval, which is our confidence interval. Tomorrow in class, we will actually, let's say Monday in class, we will actually look at the rest of this problem. We'll talk about the mechanics, finding the p-value, writing our conclusion, and those kinds of things. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, not a p-value, but finding the confidence interval, writing the conclusion. And then we'll get into also looking at the testing for that as well and how that works.